Northland booms in population. City leaders worry residents north of the river aren't receiving the same level of emergency services as the rest of the city.
Beth Vaughn is live at City Hall with reaction tonight. Beth.
Yeah, Mark, the Kansas City Fire Department faced tough questions today after a newly released report showed that response times in the Northland only met the city's standard 70% of the time.
The city expects ambulances to respond in 9 minutes or less 90% of the time. But new reports show in life-threatening emergencies, that goal isn't being met in the Northland, coming as no surprise to Chief Smokey Dyer.
The amount of resources that it would take to have 90% of the calls with an ambulance or a paramedic on the scene in under 9 minutes is not an achievable goal.
Dyer says north of the river, the roadways are structured like suburbs, creating a nightmare for emergency responders. Plus, most hospitals are positioned in the center of the city, drawing ambulances away from its borders. But for concerned council members, that wasn't enough.
I'm frustrated because we were promised a better system with the merger.
In April, the Kansas City Fire Department merged with Massed Ambulance, positioning everyone at fire stations. Councilman Ed Ford says it came at a cost.
Where we put ambulances where they could get to people quicker. And that's not in fire stations, but at strategic locations like 152 in North Oak.
According to Chief Dyer, housing paramedics at stations instead of their vehicles adds at least 30 seconds to response times. But measuring service in seconds, he says, is only one way to examine how the department is responding to life-threatening emergencies.
And Chief Dyer also said today that to increase or improve response times in the Northland, he'd have to take resources from other parts of the city. And since only about 17% of the calls come from the Northland, he says those changes would be unnecessary. Live from City Hall tonight, Beth Vaughn, NBC Action News.
All right, very interesting. Thank you, Beth.